Merry Christmas, everyone, and welcome to another holiday-themed event that we have lined up for this week's episode of Manimated. We are getting down on the 2018 Illumination Entertainment remake of The Grinch. The original, I think, is like 1960 something. 67?
Six, I think.
Is it
Yeah,
Okay.
16. Yeah.
Late 60s? Boris Karloff, super famous. The 2D animation, right? Um, that would be remade into the 2000 feature featuring Jim Carrey. Also awesome. And that's a movie I believe, Tyler, your mom took you, me, and Chris to see that in theaters on some cold day in 2000, which is crazy. It's crazy it's been that long.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this one in theaters, though, 2018. I would have seen this with my girlfriend at the time. Did either of you guys see this one?
Nah, first
No,
viewing.
This was, Derek, you said first
well,
viewing?
I've seen it before, but I didn't see it in theaters. No.
Gotcha. Okay. I've only seen it in theaters and I've not seen it since. So this was my first rewatch. Derek, this was your first time though in total.
Yeah, first time actually. Like we were talking, trying to scrounge to find it to watch it. I just ended up buying it. Found a copy of it. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll check it out. I liked it. Wasn't bad. There were some things I was kind of like, I was kind of like, I don't know if I like that for a Grinch movie, but overall, man, I enjoyed it. It was good. I love the animation, crisp, clean.
Tyler?
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times. I've seen it all the way through at least a couple times, but my daughters watch it a lot. We own it on Amazon, so we have it on every year. They actually already watched it once this year before I watched it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I've seen it on in the background. I didn't remember everything right away, but I like the movie. I kind of have two opinions on it. Like as a parent, I really, really like it. I have a lot of fun watching it with the girls. Like this time when we watched it, I had my 3-year-old on my lap and my 7-year-old sitting next to me, and they're both giggling the whole time, and that made it really fun. And then I actually watched it again, just in my spare time, and I didn't like it as much without my daughters nearby.
Fair
So
enough.
I think this will be interesting to dive into, mainly because this is the first one we've covered where we weren't kids when it came out. So we really don't have that like nostalgic tie to it. Like Corpse Bride
Right.
and Toy Story, we were kids when those came out. So there's, we have the context of seeing that as kids, and this one we don't. So, it'll be fun to dive into.
Yeah. I guess that being said, I was 28 when I saw The Grinch.
Yeah.
For our viewers who can do
Wow.
math, I'm older than that now.
Yeah. This was in theaters when my daughter was being born.
That's nuts.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
7
crazy.
years. Okay. Yeah. So I also like this movie. I think I'm the more that I look around and the more that I ask around about it, I feel like it is where it plateaus for most people. I don't know that I've met anybody who likes it more than either the animated or the live action version that we've had in the past. I've not met anybody who really talks about this film as if when somebody talks about the Grinch, this is not the version most people talk about.
No.
It's almost
True.
always Jim Carrey or Boris Karloff. This was directed by a duo. I'm going to butcher some names here probably. Yarrow Cheney and Scott Moisier. Not real sure. Neither name, when I looked up their stuff, like really had a lot. It's written by two other people.
I think this is their only feature film.
I think
that
it might
directed.
be. Yeah. I think they did like some shorts and some different stuff. Written by Michael Lesueur. Very, very French looking. We're going to roll with it. And Tommy Swerdlow. Two other people that I really, have no info about. And then obviously adapted from Dr. Seuss's, How the Grinch Stole Christmas or whatever. One of the standout parts about this movie, guys, Danny Elfman is back. Danny Elfman is back.
Yeah, I just noticed that today.
Does Danny Elfman also do the music on the Jim Carrey version?
I thought so, but another
I'm
part
not
of me
sure.
wants to say it might have been like a Jerry Goldsmith-esque, or maybe Williams, but I couldn't remember honestly, but the soundtrack was actually really good. It sounded good. It felt good. Felt
Soundtrack was awesome.
yeah, Christmassy. You know, like what Burton does best, almost. You know,
Did you guys like the Tyler the Creator song that was
I
made for the
did.
movie?
In my
because
first
that thing.
rewatch of this last night, as I'm, no kids, no nothing, haven't seen in 7 years. It starts off pretty like atypical, but then you get into it's kind of a like Illuminations thing, like Pharrell
Yeah,
is the narrator and then like does the music and stuff for some of the stuff. This time they got like Tyler
right.
the Creator. They kind of just put like a cool pop, upbeat, fun spin on some of the stuff that we know, which I thought was cool. A modern audience, I think, appreciates that.
Yeah, I
Okay,
really like the song. I've been listening to it all week.
is that just his version of the Grinch song?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so when it kind of plays in the very beginning, it kind of threw me off when he's doing like his morning routine because I was
Mhm.
like, oh wow, okay, I wasn't expecting to hear like such music in a Grinch movie. But like you said, I think I kind of have to split it up in two different ways. Where like as a kids movie, it's like, oh, that's pretty commonplace. But on the other half of that, as like a Grinch movie, think it stands out a little too much. For me, it was almost, I wouldn't say jarring. There was like parts of it that like of the beginning that I really liked. I was like, this is really good. I like the way it's rolling, and then something would happen, something would play, or something would be done that was a little more like modern, and I would be like, oh, okay, all right. Well, that kind of took me out of it for a second, but
Well, let me ask you this: do you like Despicable Me or any of the other Illumination movies?
to be honest, I've never really given them a whirl. But that's I think that's also the other side of that of the rest of this rest of my opinion is like I don't really get into kids films.
Right.
I don't have any children. So I don't really watch them a lot. Maybe if I had kids, I would, but doesn't make me like them any less. I just don't go out of my way to like check them out. But watching this one, it being a kids movie, one of the first kids movies I've seen in a good while, like I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It just I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming a little too old myself, kind of growing out of some of
You
the kid stuff.
Grinch.
I don't know. Yeah,
You
I'm a Grinch.
Grinch.
I'm just growing into one.
Okay.
Nick, do you watch Despicable Me or like the Super Mario movie or?
So I don't think I've seen all nine. I didn't know there were nine films by these guys, but that makes what? There's like four Despicable Me's, three Minions.
Yeah, I don't even know how
You
many.
think so?
I
I think there's a new one coming out.
I think there's another
Well,
Minion.
there's also
There's
Migration, The
Mi-
Lorax, and
Secret Life of Pets
Secret
has
Life of
two,
Pets.
and then the one you mentioned, Mario, and its sequel
Yeah,
coming out. So this was ninth, and this was 2018. So yeah, they probably got closer to like 12 or 13 now. I don't know. Yeah, they're fine. I actually think the Mario movie was, and we may cover it on here. I'm embattled on that or not, but I actually think it's a tad overrated, overhyped. Um, and I'm not. I won't get into that one too much here. It's not that podcast, but yeah, there was some stuff that I was like, not
yeah,
not the way that I would have went for a Super Mario movie.
yeah. Uh, I really like Illumination stuff. I like Despicable Me. The Minions movies are fun. I think the Minions kind of got a bad rap because so many like soccer moms and
Excuse me.
people just like latched onto them a little too hard, and I
Yeah,
think they got too much exposure, so people kind of got tired of them. But they, I think they are funny. Like in the context of the movies, they
Yeah,
are funny, and the movies are enjoyable. Steve Carell rules. Uh, so at least like the first Despicable Me, the Minions movie, I thought Mario was okay. I don't really know if I've seen it all the way through, like start to finish. I've never seen Migration. Secret Life of Pets is like cute, but I don't have like
yeah.
a solid opinion on it. But I think I like the art style, the animation, the jokes are pretty funny. I think Illumination's a pretty good. It's got a pretty good track record of making good movies,
We've got a
and I
pretty good
think this
track
is no
record of making
exception.
money.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. This
yeah.
this movie made a lot of money.
So
Before, go on, Derek.
I was just gonna ask. So Horton Hears a Who obviously predates Illumination, but was that what kind of migrated into Illumination? like that
Wasn't
studio?
that
Because I don't
wasn't it
remember.
wasn't it Blue Sky Studio?
I
I'm not
I
sure.
can't remember. It was so long ago, but I remember that's kind of where it started because of that, and then the Lorax was next.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't
somebody
know. I
did
was
Cat in the Hat in there too, and it was awful.
Oh yeah. Well, that was live action though.
yeah,
Yeah.
but even still, like it was still awful though. Terrible.
That's probably
approach.
the reason we haven't got any more live action Dr.
Yeah.
Seuss.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to
Like
be.
Carrie's Grinch was amazing, and then the Cat in the Hat was just like a nightmare.
A little too whimsical, yeah.
A little too much innuendo. Mike Myers.
Way too much innuendo.
Yeah.
Did you see the Lorax?
Saw that. I'm
I
pretty sure I
haven't,
saw that in
no.
theaters. Yeah.
Did you like
Danny
that?
DeVito, right?
It's Is it
Is it-
Danny DeVito and then it's Taylor Swift, right? Zac Efron.
I don't know.
Aren't
No,
those
fuck.
guys?
That's another one where I don't know it well enough. Like I've seen bits and pieces. I want to go back and watch it because I like Danny DeVito a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
I think it's fine. I think it does all right.
All right.
Do you think Illumination will try to do any other like Seuss movies, like maybe like this Starbelly Sneetches or?
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
funny.
can see that.
We've talked about the Sneetches one for a long time. Yeah, I think they'd be. I don't know if they like have purchased like the rights to all Seuss stuff and they get that kind of grab bag or whatever. But I think they'd be stupid to not keep going. I do
Yeah.
think there's an animated Cat in the Hat somewhere in the works that isn't
That
you know,
I'd check out.
yeah
that would
right
be-
100%. But the Sneetches, yeah, would be awesome.
The Sneetches. Yeah.
I know there's a. I mean,
Green eggs and
I don't-
ham, man.
I
Green
don't know
eggs
how
and
you
ham.
make them. I don't know how to make a movie, a feature film out of all of the popular, green eggs and ham, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, all that shit. But if it were like a collection of like anthological shorts thrown into a movie together, like that could be cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Like a Dr. Seuss's anthology thing.
Yeah,
That'd
just
be
go see like
pretty
2 or
neat.
3 of them at once for those that don't have like not milking a feature length out of a 23-page storybook or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the Grinch is no different to that. They had to add in like a backstory and like a single mom narrative and
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's get into
dive
that
in.
one. So this movie, I've not seen the original in a long time. So I won't know all the differences this makes from those, but I can probably more accurately make the differences this does differently than Jim Carrey's. One being single mom and she's raising twins.
yeah.
Well,
Like
yeah,
twin
but
boys.
aren't there twins in Carrie's? It's
thought-
Cindy
no,
Lou
they're-
the youngest.
she has
and she
older
has older
brothers.
brothers.
Yeah, she has older. I don't know if they're twins. It's like Drew and Stu, the two who like wake
Oh,
up.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Think
I
they
just,
wake
I
up
don't
to
know. I
Grinch.
just thought those little twins were those two, but
Also,
honestly, couldn't tell you.
these twins are pretty young. So like, did Dad just have them and then step out of the picture and like?
I was having the same conversation with somebody at work today. I was just like, I couldn't understand. I was like, wow, he just kind of went out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back. All right,
Yeah,
so
got
that
killed
kind
by
of
the-
threw me through a loop.
By the
Right.
roast beast.
I was talking to my wife about the same thing. I was
Yeah.
like, who? And she works overnights. I was like, who's watching these kids?
Yeah.
She did tell me there is a throwaway line about
a nanny.
the babysitter or something.
That's what it says in the beginning.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like where did their dad go?
yeah.
He's like, the problems are yours now. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
right.
I thought that was kind of a weird change. I don't. The Grinch's backstory is kind of. So I think in the original he doesn't really have a backstory. I think he's just a Grinch the entire time. It's the one with Carrie where they kind of give him like, oh, he was kind of an orphan or whatever, and he kind of got ostracized by the classmates and such in the town. And then in this, it's like he got traumatized by being an orphan and not being to experience a good Christmas. Is that the takeaway? Was I lost in that, or
That's how I.
It didn't really dive into it. All it showed was like him it opened the door and there's all the Christmas decorations and then they slowly start disappearing. And I think it's implying that he had nobody to give him a Christmas. So did he not have parents? Like,
I guess
They show a lot about the orphanage, but then there's also a lot of like longing looks of him looking at kids with parents.
mhm.
And so I assume, obviously I'm not an orphan, but don't do and let he's not the only orphan at this orphanage. And do orphanages not do anything? They're just like, nobody who's got a fucking parent can go outside today. You guys got to stay inside. Look at the snow from in here. There's no presents. There's no warmth. Look at everybody else having fun. Like, that was a Gotham ass orphanage that they gave him.
For real.
Right.
And for Whoville to be so dismal, you can't sit there and tell me that an orphanage didn't try to give something for these kids. Like, no toys for tots, no toys for who's, nothing. Like, this is
Toys for who's.
I couldn't understand it,
Right.
dude. Like, but what kills me about it is like, so he starts having the flashback of the orphanage when the tree gets lit up, right? And he's having like a panic attack or an anxiety attack of some sort. He's just like, oh God, bright lights and the music. It's like, it's overwhelming him to a point where it's like, it's invoking a trauma response. So I was like, wow, really? He got beat by Christmas. That's why he hates it. Like,
Yeah,
so I feel like his motives in this Grinch movie were a lot lesser as opposed to what they were previously, where he was just being a Grinch and wanted to, cause chaos and just cause problems for the Who's. This, he like just did it out of like spite, but then I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me.
He wasn't even that Grinchy in this one.
That's what I kind of thought too.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I think the Grinch himself is probably one of the biggest differences from both versions in the past. Because it's not just it's the way he acts. He's kind of rude all the way around, but he's certainly less rude in this movie than he is compared to Jim Carrey. Sorry. He's kind of a smoother Grinch. He's not as we talked about this on Frankenstein. He's not as like coarse or callous as he is in the other versions. So he's like less gross Who looking and just more like green nice guy Who looking. Like, they took away his janky teeth. He's a little bit like more maintained, in fact he has pearly white teeth in this new version.
Right.
There's pearly whites. He doesn't have any like gross long, like
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, they just kind of clean him up a little. He's nicer to his dog.
He almost read more like a grumpy old man than he did like a evil creature that lives in the mountains.
Right.
Yeah. Not so much a Grindel, but yeah.
He's even got like
More
the
of a grandpa.
cool red eye window through the mountain that this movie shows you a lot, which I thought was kind of neat. Like his
that was
his
really
Eye
cool.
of Sauron type thing.
Right.
His cave is way nicer
Frank
too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cave I would stay in. He's got a fireplace in there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they got to be so Grinchy about?
Yeah, he's kind of got it made up there. Also, and he
Except for that
establishes
alarm
this
clock.
pretty early. This Grinch he has to frequent Whoville. The other Grinch movies make it sound like he never goes down there and he hates it. This one, he
And when
has
he
to
does go
frequent
down there-
Whoville. Yeah,
Yeah.
for shopping.
When he does go down there, he's just down there to cause problems.
Yeah, he has to
In the
like
Jim
shop.
Carrey version, he like dresses up in a disguise so people can't see that it's him.
Yeah,
Yeah. He has like
They treat him like a
cloak
monster
and
in the
a
Jim
mask.
Carrey one. In this one, they're just like, oh, that's just the Grinch. He's just kind of grumpy.
Mr. Bricklebaum is literally like dapping him up every time he sees him. He's like, "Hey,
dude,
Grinch,
every
hey."
time.
Kenan
That's my
Thompson.
best friend.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey,
To
when did
me,
Mabel learn to work the doorbell?"
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I
Perfect,
thought he was
yeah.
my favorite character in the movie. Like, I thought he was the best addition to this version of the Grinch.
I agree.
He was really the only character that I felt like his voice acting was good. I felt like Cumberbatch just kind of phoned it in. I don't know. Did anyone else?
I
that
wasn't
way?
blown away by his performance, no, but like some of his deliveries were pretty funny in some moments, but yeah, I wasn't like, I think others did it better. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think him being in it was elevated the movie at all.
I agree. So when this was announced, they were like, new Grinch movie and Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be the Grinch. I thought that was perfect. I think that's a perfect cast on paper. And then seeing it's hard not to want Jim Carrey's version extended into this.
Yeah.
And so every time the Grinch opens his mouth, all his like dialogue and delivery and cadence and shit like that, I want it to sound like Jim Carrey. But Benedict Cumberbatch, who has an amazing voice anyways, doesn't do a lot with it in this movie. And so you're right. It feels very like phoned in. It feels like anybody could have done it. Because there is nothing to like listen to be like, that's definitely Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Like when, you know what I mean? Like when he did Smaug, like the dragon, like
Mhm.
you don't know that's him. And the fact that it is him is fucking awesome. And so, yeah, when he took this role on and then seeing what we got, yeah, it just felt like a why. I'm like, what did you need him for?
Right. And then Rashida Jones, she was just talking. Like
She
it
was his
was
mom.
literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what else I would expect from her, but when you
So
get voice actors, you want something unique and bespoke and like something interesting,
Yeah.
I guess. The kids did
so
good. I thought the kids were good.
yeah, Cindy Lou and the kids were good.
They
Her
were
and her
funny.
like little misfit, pack of friends. They were
Yeah, she's
pretty
got her
cool.
squad this time around. What's with that?
I I don't know because she's obviously very independent because the first little chunk of the beginning she's all by herself, kind of doing everything on her lonesome, and then she has to get her crew in to be like, we're gonna fucking kidnap Santa, like, but she doesn't. She Not to say that she doesn't like need their help. She's just like wanting their help to try and figure out the best way to do it because
Mhm.
she's still going to be the one who's going to capture Santa, not so much like the kids are going to be there, but I don't know the whole.
Well, they're there for
Isn't it
like research
awesome?
and development and like brainstorming
Yeah,
and
yeah, like the think
it's a
tank.
think tank.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I think that's cool with their kids. I think that's like a cool addition. The Who's all the way around are still very hooey. They're all like super happy, cheery.
mhm.
Going around the whole like town, getting ready for Christmas. I loved it when Whoville lit up. I thought that was really cool. It kind of shows everybody like being like a community that they like, that you expect them to be. Uh, but the dude who loves Christmas, I think you guys mentioned him a second ago. What's his name again?
Bricklebaum?
The Bricklebomb dude.
Yeah.
Mr.
That dude.
Bricklebaum?
That dude is. I couldn't tell if like they needed somebody that wasn't like an official figure, like a mayor type, so they like used him instead to
Mhm.
be like kind of like we're going Christmas 3 times bigger, that whole thing. Because they definitely focused on him doing that, and I thought he was a better addition to that, than previous people, I guess. But yeah, it was awesome seeing him muck about, especially when
Yeah,
they bring in the tree.
he was cracking me up.
Yeah, some of the stuff he said was really funny, like when his sleigh gets stolen.
Oh, yeah.
He pops up a lot for somebody that I thought was going to just be in like one or two scenes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they steal
That's fair.
they steal his sled. He's got multiple comments about that night, about being like buddies with the Grinch and like, Mabel the dog. He had a way more prominence than I was ready to give him. Outside of that, we do have an actual mayor, Mayor McGurkle, who's voiced by Angela Lansbury, who's very famous in like the theater, and she's done some voice acting stuff as far as like Beauty and the Beast. She's Mrs. Potts, so she can sing. She's done like Driving Miss Daisy in the past and shit. So she's got a very like storied career. So it's cool to see her. She's the mayor who really doesn't do a lot because all the stuff that she should be doing goes to Mr. Bricklebaum, I guess. Promoting this 3 times bigger
True.
festivity or whatever. Derek, you talked about Whoville. Seeing any version of Whoville is pretty rad. And there's like a Dr. If you
Yeah.
guys have ever been to, I know it's at least in Florida. I don't know if it's in California. There's like a Dr. Seuss theme.
Land.
Yeah, like part of the Universal Park, I think. And
Yeah,
it's
not
kind of cool.
islands, but yeah.
It's kind of cool. I mean, because there's like a Simpsons version too, and so when you think how those worlds are animated, and then you get to kind of step into that, it's actually pretty fucking neat.
I'm pretty sure when I went down to Florida, the Grinch was messing about too.
You see, yeah, right.
So
Like that's cool that you can make a whole world out of some zany, whimsical shit like that.
yeah,
that is cool.
Seeing Whoville light up, you know you're in for a treat with as far as like what their devices can do, and how they do it and what they're made with, and some have little who's in them. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
the machines. There's like who's of different size doing these these things that probably a piece of machinery should be doing, shit like that. So it's always cool to see that world brought to life. And so throwing
Yeah,
in everything there, that's fine.
I loved their inventions and their contraptions, and we get a lot of that in this movie. I thought those were really cool, like the snowball maker, just scooping up the snow and spitting out snowballs.
That was
Little
cool.
candy cane maker. Yeah, just tons of stuff like that. It was pretty awesome.
I liked a lot of like the simplicity of the over elaborateness of like the inventions. Like they'll have like an invention that looks like a giant gun, and then they pull the trigger, and like this tiny little arm will come out and just hit a tiny little button that they can't reach.
Yeah.
It's real simple stuff like that. It's like, oh, it's so elaborate, but yet so innovative and so cool.
Real Rube Goldberg-ish.
Yeah, kind of getting there.
Cindy Lou Who, by the way, in the original book is 2 years old. She's 2. And then we get the Jim Carrey movie where she's fucking
10,
12, 11, 12.
She's pushing 10, I would say.
She's supposed to be 6 in this movie.
Right.
So,
oh, wow.
And I guess they kind of like she gathers up her whole squad, and she's like taking them through the lights, and she's like, guys, this is what I want to do for Christmas this year. Trap Santa, and like shows them, and they're all like, oh, okay, what for? And she's like, it's personal. And they're like, that doesn't fucking explain anything. And she's like, hey, when you asked about this, did I give you any grief? And they're like, no. He's like, and when you got stuck in that thing, and he's like, all right.
Whoa. Okay, I'll help you.
Okay, yeah.
They find,
he really didn't want exposed what she helped him with.
Yeah, she was about to be like, do I need to say it out loud?
Do I need to tell everybody your secret?
I think they're leaving that event, and she's like, all right, let's go fucking do this. And then one of them's like, hey, dinner's ready. And she's like, okay, tomorrow we're going to go do this. So it's like they recognize that they're 6, 7, 8 years old or whatever, but still have a bedtime, still got curfew, and there's still a mom to whip somebody's ass if they're late. So,
yeah. Hey, timer. I know, Mom.
Yeah, he's like, dude, don't start.
Dude, don't start.
I lived out in the country. We didn't have timers. We just had better know the fucking time and be home.
Right. Be home by dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get the street light. I heard Brad Dourif was originally the narrator of this. Wouldn't that have been wild? Before he was replaced by
Chucky
Pharrell.
voicing it, that would have been dope.
He'd be like, Andy, welcome to Hoover.
That would have been interesting.
I just watched him in The Two Towers. So that's all I can think now is him being like,
God.
but my lord, there is no such force. And the Grinch has to show him 10,000 Urkai ready to sack Whoville since he didn't get his reindeer.
Yeah. Or he had one and lost it.
The other 2 movies, he doesn't have any reindeer, right? It's just Max pulling the sleigh.
Yeah, He has Max being the reindeer.
So this movie goes another route, and he's like, hey, here's this reindeer horn or whatever. And then like a goat, someone's like a goat. Like
a screaming goat.
Yeah, a screaming goat. And then they go find a bunch of reindeer, and he's like, fuck yeah. And then the goat ruins it.
We're going to have 100 reindeer.
100 reindeer for this. Goat ruins it. And then we end up getting like this kind of weird reindeer subplot type thing going on where we're going to have a reindeer, but like his time is going to be like on borrowed because he's got like his baby mama and kid on the way here, and they're going to check in.
Yeah. So he's the only one left. He's grazing. He's a little husky. He gets down there. He tries to wrangle him up, and then eventually gets like, manhandled by the freaking reindeer dragging him through the dirt. Mm-hmm. But then he wakes up, and he kind of just like, I don't want to say corral it. He's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're doing this. And that's when they take their little adventure back. Yeah, but he doesn't stay with them super long.
No, not very long.
Felt like a weird, like, why put this in there at all type.
Well, that was setting up for the ending where, we'll get to that, but he kind of helps the Grinch later on.
Yeah.
This movie also shows a lot more of the Grinch being very more like calculative and like, here's my plan and here's my whiteboard for it. And here's like the miniatures and the string theory that I'm gonna, like run through everything. The other Grinch was just like, fuck it, going out there with the tools I got.
Yeah,
Very
he was a
inventive.
little more
Yeah.
just on the fly, off the seat of his pants kind of thing. I liked the montage. I liked the whole setup of him planning everything out and making the suit, and
Yeah,
thought all that was done really well.
I agree.
It
I
was
mean,
good.
I just like the contraptions of how he gets in and out of houses, and he's got like candy canes that do different shit, and like line launchers bagging up entire like sections of gifts and trees. He's got like the ninja stars that like boom, throws and wraps up a
Yeah.
tree,
The
When
stilt
he
shoes.
when he
throws everything up the
creeps out
chute.
of when he creeps out of the fireplace and he cracks that fucking candy cane and it lights up, I was like, oh dude, that's rad. And then he just
Yeah.
starts using it for different things. I was like, that's my kind of multi-tool, dude. That's dope. Like that is so cool.
His
Yeah.
He uses those
sled is
big
doing
elaborate
different
shoes.
things, and his shoes are doing different things, and his
Yeah.
gadgets are doing different things. I was like, damn, this guy
So
would be more efficient than Amazon, by the way. Like this guy
yeah.
could run like $1 trillion company in his land with the way that he's operating.
Right.
So with all the ingenuity though, I still had a question about like, well, why didn't he just make his sled, jetpacked like Carrie did, instead of having Max drag him all the way through the snow? He's so inventive. He easily could have done it, but he was just like, got a reindeer. Well, I lost a reindeer. Well, Max saw you, and then Max was
Yeah.
like, I got it. So I don't know. I feel like he could have definitely thrown some turbo boosts on that sled and helped out Max a little bit, but
Yeah, I think that was probably just them trying to stay close to the source material.
yeah. Well,
I
go on.
I was just gonna say I really liked this version of Max. I thought he was a lot of fun. I liked
I was
him.
gonna say this version of Max is probably the best version of Max we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I was thinking
To a
that too.
degree,
He's like
like
balancing the tray on his head, and he's making the coffee, and
very
he's got a
devoted.
good attitude about everything.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
Yeah.
Max you want in your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like it when the reindeer shows up because he kind of like thinks he's being not really replaced, but he's just like, oh, still in my limelight, man. All right, cool. And then
Yeah.
eventually he
But he got his own little side cart on the
got his own little sidecar. Yeah,
on the sleigh. I thought that was cute.
that was cool. Yeah, but even the Grinch is kind of like rude towards him a lot, and then like he actually apologizes, which is something that you don't really see the Grinch doing. But
Yeah. It's true.
He does apologize to him, but then he goes back to cheating to beat him in his chess game. So
yeah, that's true.
like how are
It's
we?
not exactly Well, he was about to get smoked by Max. It looked like so.
Do you guys have any favorite Benedict Cumberbatch films? Are you guys Cumberbatchers?
I mean, besides like Smog, which I can't really say is his film. Like Smog, I really like him in, but we don't get enough of him.
Yeah.
And I mean, Doctor Strange ain't bad, but
I guess Doctor Strange. I haven't seen too much of him. I've seen part of his like Sherlock stuff.
Yeah.
I still need to check that out
But
at some point.
yeah, I'm not real familiar with his work, so probably Doctor Strange, I guess. Well, maybe this, I guess. Not because of him, but it's my favorite thing that he's in.
Yeah, there's certainly some of his like more artsy, award season type stuff that I do want to check out. Like Imitation Game, some shit like that. But
He's in like a rom-com right now, right?
yeah, and didn't something just come out? It's like a War of the Roses remake. It's called The Roses.
Well, yeah, The Roses,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he was like really well in. Is it The Power of the Dog or whatever? Wasn't that the Netflix film?
That's the cowboy one, right?
I think so. Yeah, Power of the Dog.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like he certainly has like a art house impact. When he does those movies. I think some of his like more event films tend to maybe like rely on more than just him to get him in get the money that they think they're going to get there. But I didn't recognize the girl who plays Cindy Lou Who either. Cameron Seeley.
Yeah,
When
no idea.
When
Her
I looked
voice
her
sounds
up,
familiar though.
yeah, for sure.
But I guess
No.
most voice actors kind of do.
Sounded familiar for being 7 years old. So I don't know what she looks like now or what she does. Taylor Momsen voiced her or played her in the Jim Carrey movie, and she would go on to be the front man for the Pretty Reckless, right?
Yeah.
It's good for her.
Yep. Still going strong.
Yeah.
I think either she's already done it or she's about to do it. I think she's about to do a like a rock out Where Are You Christmas, Pretty Reckless style this year. So
Okay. Fuck yeah.
and that's that. I want to check it out whenever she does it or gets it done. But yeah, apparently some kind of event. I think so.
I think
Look
Faith
forward to
Hill
it.
does a cover of that song for that movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah.
For Ron Howard's Grinch movie.
Right.
I don't know if there's
I always
any.
forget Ron Howard, but
I don't know if there's any other Christmas songs that came out of this movie like they came out of the 2001. I feel like that soundtrack was just
Tyler, the
everywhere.
Creator one.
Yeah, well,
Well-
I mean, like, but if you mentioned this movie as a just in passing, would somebody be like, the Tyler the Creator album that came out was pretty solid?
Well, Justin refers to this movie as Tyler the Creator's Grinch.
Oh, okay.
So
Fair enough.
if you talk to Justin about it, that's the first thing he mentions.
Gotcha.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Fuck
I
yeah.
think because they use that song with a lot of the promotional material, so anyone who hasn't seen the movie probably would tie that together. I certainly keep them together in my mind.
I wonder what it's like then if you're Danny Elfman, who has scored multiple Christmas themed movies. And so I wonder, like,
A lot, yeah.
I wonder if at some point you got to be like, how am I going to make this Christmas sound different than the other Christmas sounds of these movies that I made?
Yeah, not make them sound all the same, like jolliness and stuff. Like,
Right.
kind of have their own spins on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Have
if he
to be
works
the
for Tim
same,
Burton over and over.
but not the same.
Yeah.
Man.
That
Yeah,
would be,
because you're right, dude. The dude's done a lot. Even movies that aren't traditional Christmas movies, like Batman Returns, that takes place during Christmas.
yeah.
So that dude
Oh,
has a
right.
lot of Christmas themed like scores on that soundtrack.
He has a
So
lot
it's
of credits. I was scanning over those today, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't realize he did so much shit.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of big movies too.
Yeah. Not just Batman.
Mr. Elfman definitely Mr. Oingo Boingo himself.
Yeah,
Definitely
out of the 3 Manimateds now, he's done the score for 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
got a roll, man.
Damn. Now I got to pick the next one based strictly on who's doing score, just to
Right.
go different
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
it's less about animation and more about Elfman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, goddamn it, Danny.
We talk about the Grinch's clothes a little bit. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
in the Jim Carrey one, it was kind of implied that he was like naked. You know, every once in a while he'd wear a shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
In this one,
Yeah.
you see him put like furry pants over his underwear that just matches the rest of his fur.
Yeah. I saw that too.
And he also wears like furry flipper shoes
or
kind of
socks.
thing.
Yeah. So I couldn't chalk that up to, are they literally making it out to be like, yeah, he has to put that stuff on to wear, or if they're just being, comedic in the cartoon sense of like, well, they have to show that he has to wear pants, so why not make it comical and have him put on a pair of pants?
Right. Was it a throwaway bit, or was this his clothes that he wears?
Yeah. So like, I think when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a bit, but then he did like the shoe thing later, and I was like, okay, maybe they are like articles of clothing, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah, and then there's that line about the hair dye. So like, is he
Yeah.
just a regular who dyes his hair green?
Well, I think what's his face made that comment about trying to keep the grays out.
Yeah. Well, he uses chocolate brown something for his hair.
Yeah. It's like mocha chocolate explosion or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. He's like, don't worry,
But yeah,
Greg, you just got to make sure the carpets match the drapes,
Right. Yeah. Well, in the other Grinches, it made it seem like he was almost a different species, and then in this one, I kind of got the impression that he was a who, but just a green who for some reason, and the hair dye line or whatever.
Well, so that's why I never
It's
watched Jim Carrey's version and was like, why is the Grinch naked? because
Mhm.
I just assumed he was like not a who, more of a what, I think is the line. Um, more of a what.
Right.
So it never bothered me. So he puts, he like smurfs the yodeler, takes his like lederhosen or whatever, and that becomes like his whole outfit. When he puts on the pajama bottoms or whatever, the green fur bottoms, I too thought it was a gag. But it kind of sounds like it was more of a response to the people who did think Jim Carrey's Grinch was just naked running around.
Mhm.
But like, I didn't see like a furry green prosthetic or anything hanging out, so like I wasn't too like perturbed by it.
Yeah, it was almost like the Who's were people and Jim Carrey was like an animal.
Yeah,
And then he puts the
Yeah.
clothes on later. It's just like putting like a sweater on your dog or something.
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
It's like when you take the sweater off, your dog's not naked. I mean, it
Yeah.
is, but it isn't.
Right.
Well, I think even in Horton Hears a Who, the Who's in that movie are a lot like they're all covered in fur, if I remember right. They all actually have like long hair, like on their person or whatever. So I'm a little enamored by just the whole Who anatomy because, like you said, like one they look like humans, one they look, a little too human, just with noses, and then the other cartoons they kind of look, different.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how a Who's really supposed to look, and then how can we differentiate that in the Grinch? Because if the
Well,
Grinch is just a green Who, then
they live on a snowflake, right? So maybe like on
yeah,
different snowflakes, they're like different races of Who's.
Oh
So
shit.
like
interesting.
if you were to move from one flake to
I
another, maybe you'd be like,
I forgot they
stick
lived on
out
a
a little bit.
snowflake.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't really mention that in this one.
Well, in Horton Hears a Who, they live on a dandelion.
Oh, right. So they're just small and they just live
They just
wherever.
live on. Yeah, they're.
So they're
Wow.
more
Okay.
like the ice Who's, and then there's like the flower Who's.
Shut up.
They're
The
like
field Who's. Yeah. 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 Field Who's and ice Who's. Yeah. All right.
The
Okay.
seasonal who's, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
So what happens when the snowflake melts? Is just like is a
Oh
Who's
wow.
lifespan just like dependent on their environment?
They probably just blame the Grinch,
Or maybe yeah, I guess maybe like maybe it's in the northern hemisphere, up towards the top, like up towards the North Pole where it never melts. It just freezes and stays. I don't know.
Oh, that's a possibility. What if
It's a
there's
good
more
question.
than one Who on snowflakes, and they like make one giant snowflake, one giant Whoville? Like,
Well,
It's like
wait.
Pangea, like
So,
all the snowflakes connecting and making a bigger
yeah,
landmass.
so
yeah,
what is
Pangea.
in Horton Hears a Who? They live on a dandelion. What's their town name or whatever? Like, do we know? Is it not Whoville?
I don't want to say it, but I think it might be Whoville. But again,
Horton Hears a
it's like a
Who location.
it's like a Whoville that's like during the summer, like he was saying. But like,
Yeah. So the snowflake lands, and as it melts, the city just settles onto whatever it's on.
onto a dandelion onto grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So like
Okay.
the layout of the city changes based on the shape that they have to conform around as the snowflake melts.
Okay.
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I'm making stuff
I
up.
think
But
Well,
that sounds pretty near.
I think we're getting into a bigger question here. So
Oh wow.
this says Horton Hears a Who is located in the jungle of Newell, where Elephant Horton discovers the tiny civilization of Whoville, which exists on a floating speck of dust, essentially making Whoville a microscopic world within the jungle. But then, so how many Whovilles are out there exactly?
Yeah.
infinite.
It's exponential, man. They just keep growing. So
So then, like, does the Lorax and stuff take place in?
I think the Lorax might be a different species because they're like tree bearing folk. I thought, or
It's
hill
like
bearing folk or
it's
something.
like a Men in Black thing where there's like universes that are like really really
Yeah,
tiny, and they're it's like a fractal kind of thing where there's just universes all the way down.
you look into a locker. Yeah, you just see 6 different Whovilles.
Okay,
If you zoom out from us, we're just like a little speck of dust on someone else's like giant civilization.
okay, so it does not take place in Whoville. The Lorax takes place in and it has to tell me the fictional artificial city of Thneedville,
Meadville.
Thneed, like Thneedville. Huh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
But then, so we know that there's at least 2 different Whovilles. We got to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. I got to start connecting dots. I'll do some research later.
Right. Time to get out the red string and
Yeah.
Also, wasn't like Dr. Seuss not like the amazing dude we hear about? Like, does anybody? I'm
See,
pretty
I haven't
sure.
really. I only remember
I don't know.
the elementary version of him we got. You know, where he kind of like I think he escaped the war. Kind of, had his
His
trials and tribulations before he finally found success with his book series.
his real name, by the way, Theodore Seuss Geisel, Geisel.
Sounds right.
Guys.
Interesting. Born in 1904. God damn. Died in
Yeah,
91.
dude, he was hella old.
87 years old when he died. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know too much about him personally. I know there was that thing a while back where people were mad about some of his books having stereotypical portrayals of like Asian people and stuff like that. So a couple of his books they stopped producing. It was like one of them. The only one that I really knew was To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that piece of literature, but it's a guy walking home and he's telling the story of all the things that he saw on Mulberry Street. And I think one of the characters was like an Asian, but it was like a stereotypical, like, uh, kind of the way the older generations might draw a stereotypical Asian.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so because of that, they were like, we're going to stop producing these specific books. It was like 6 of them, I think. I don't know.
Wow, okay.
But like, I don't know.
I'll have to look out for that next time I go to Seuss Land.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I'll be like, to think that I heard it on this podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn. That's okay. I think this was also the last movie, the last Seuss movie that was made in the lifespan of his widow or whatever.
Right.
Obviously he died in 1991. I think she then outlived him. I think this was the last movie of theirs that she got to see. So good for her, I suppose. I'd be interested to hear what her thoughts are on some of his, what his thoughts would have been on some of his property being adapted.
I think I saw something like he didn't want it adapted or something, and then when he died, she got the rights to it, and then she started shopping it around,
She was
and that's
like,
where we
sweet
got
paychecks.
or maybe yeah, I don't want to speak on it because I can't remember exactly what I read, but I know he had some particular feelings about either it being adapted or how it was adapted. Maybe they had to meet a list of his demands or something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like even going all the way back to the original Boris Karloff one, like the Grinch, out of all Dr. Seuss, the Grinch is kind of what's been made the most out of all his work. And it's only strictly, I don't want to say it's only because it's a Christmas movie, but it's definitely because it helped because it was a Christmas movie. Like whether it was a cartoon or like a Christmas story, I should say. But it definitely, like the Cat in the Hat didn't come out before any of that. Like we didn't get a live action Cat in the Hat. We didn't get any kind of Cat in the Hat until Jim Carrey's Grinch movie.
Yeah. And I almost felt like the Cat in the Hat was like a response to the Grinch of like, okay, we get another funny guy. We make him
dress
the
him
character,
up like the furry character,
and
yeah.
then put him in real life and add a bunch of backstory and yeah. But totally flopped. Was not good. Delete.
No, I remember it's Dakota Fanning. It's Spencer Breslin,
Myers.
Abigail Breslin's brother, who I didn't know forever that those two were related. Isn't the mom played by Kelly Preston? John Travolta's?
Yeah. It was, I think it was one of the last things I saw her in, to be honest.
She was always like a good, like, TV like a side like character actor, you know.
Yeah. She always played good characters. But yeah, because Alec Baldwin's like the weird, like neighbor / suitor that's trying to like, win her over, and he's just a weird character himself.
Well, her boss is
yeah, that
played
whole
by that funny guy.
I can't remember. Yeah, the dude from Will and Grace.
Yeah, Sean.
Can't remember his
Something.
name.
Is it Sean Baker? I think is his name.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
I know
it's
who you're talking about. I don't know his name
He's
though.
like, "You're fired."
Fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there was.
yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That's probably the
Yeah.
one line of that whole movie that stuck. I think with anybody this whole
Right.
time was somebody imagine getting fired and their boss sounding like
Yeah.
that.
I didn't even remember that till you just brought it up. That
Yeah.
is a good line.
That and some of the Cat in the Hat's unsavory innuendo lines. That's about all I remember. So
I remember being old enough or young enough or whatever to know like what is with this? What are you guys doing with this?
yeah, it was definitely kind of jarring to experience that kind of Dr. Seuss movie.
He doesn't look any more disgusting than Carrie's Grinch. I don't know why it doesn't work.
I think it's because he's too happy about it. He's too animated.
Do you think someone else could have done it better than Myers?
I think somebody could have done it better than Myers, but I don't know who necessarily at the top of my head. But I think there could have been other candidates who probably could have been a little more calm and docile while still being whimsical and not being like complete, like over the top.
Well, I think if we read about the movie, I don't know that it was strictly a victim of just poor response. Like I'm pretty sure that the shoot was kind of, I don't know about like tense or problematic, but I don't think it was a smooth end to end. And I don't know if that has anything to do with Myers and his like star power and him wanting to go one way with the character and I don't even know who made the movie. But that team wanting to do something different, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a crazy Mike Myers fan anyways, so that was pretty low. Yeah, it was pretty low on the bar for me.
I don't love Mike Myers, but there's a few Mike Myers things that obviously are good, like Shrek, Wayne's World. I like Austin Powers. So he's got some hits.
So Carrie got to do the Grinch live action, but he also played Horton the Elephant in Horton Hears a Who. Do you think this Grinch could have done better with Carrie coming back to do like the voice and stuff, or do you think it would have been wouldn't have worked? Or
I think it would have been awesome with Carrie coming back. That's what I kept wanting the whole time. I just kept wanting Benedict Cumberbatch to sound like and deliver like Jim Carrey's Grinch. I would have been fine with that actually.
To me, it's kind of like Matthew Lillard playing Shaggy. He's like so perfect for the role that they ended up using him as the voice actor for future Scooby-Doo stuff. I think they absolutely could have brought Carrie back, and it would have been awesome. I saw something where he expressed interest in doing a Grinch 2, but I don't know. I don't know how that would even work.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, dude never made a sequel to his book, so. Which, by the way, I didn't know was a book for long. Like, I knew it was a book, but I had never seen a physical copy of the book of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't even think I ever had a copy of it. And I had almost every damn Dr. Seuss book known to man. I think you can probably find it now because it's been like mass produced again, but
there is a sequel to the book, How the Grinch Lost Christmas, but
was it Seuss?
But it was published in 2023.
Oh,
so It wasn't Seuss, obviously, but
damn,
there is a sequel.
Somebody was like, "I'll write my own version."
Yeah, don't buy it.
Well, I mean, for kids, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I keep coming back to with this one is like, this wasn't made for me. This was made for like my daughter, and she loves it. So
I would definitely say, yeah, this is more in line with kids, which is awesome. It works great as a kids film, especially like a lot of the, like when Cindy Lou's trying to like take her letter to Santa, like the second time after she misses the mailman, she's like, Christmas storied up where she's just like layered up and like, shit. And she's like having that tantrum of like not being able to like stand up and stuff and move around, and she's just acting like a kid. Awesome, spot on, loved it, got a good laugh out of it. You couldn't do that live action, and obviously it's not in the original, but
I liked the line
this,
where her mom asks her about being hot, and she's like, "Yep, sweating a little bit."
yeah, yeah. And then she's just about to go, and she's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll see you in a month." And she's like, "A month?" Like her mom like defuses the whole situation without even like having to yell at her, having to get mad at her. So good parenting on her end for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if I were a mom, I for sure would be struggling. Like 3 kids, the youngest are a set of twins that are crazy.
Yeah.
Like I for sure would be cracking. Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
handles
looks
it
like a nurse,
with class.
right?
She what?
I think she's a nurse. She had scrubs on, I think, when she gets on the bus.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I
I'm not
didn't think
sure.
about it. She just has,
She's
I
working the
think,
night shift.
more than one line about working night shift. Yeah.
Yeah.
And her daughter's got Cindy Lou, who's got those hockey dreams, I think. She's got
Yeah.
the
She
bus
wants
driver
to.
mentioned
Yeah.
something about her stick. She's using it to like steer when she's going to drop her letter off. So yeah, she's the next Gretzky of Whoville.
Fucking Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched this video about like when the 2000s Grinch came out, about how like the main lesson from the Grinch is like anti-consumerism kind of thing, like Christmas isn't all about the presents, and it's about family and being together and all that stuff. Uh but they merchandise the shit out of the Grinch. So like
Yeah.
the whole message was like anti-consumerism, and then it was like you couldn't get away from all the like Grinch tie-ins and promotions. I think like Visa had one. The post office was using it for commercials. There was like so much merch and everything. If you look at my living room right now, it looks like the Grinch threw up in there. There's so much
Yeah.
Grinch decorations. My wife is obsessed. I have a Grinch coffee mug. I have a little tree that sits on the shelf that's like Grinch fur. It's like
That's awesome.
it's just funny how like the message is we don't need to buy a bunch of shit, and then like on the back end it's like, hey, you guys want to buy a bunch of shit?
Yeah. Hey, man, Christmas, Christmas sells.
Yeah.
It does sell. Actually, funnily enough, I think Benedict Cumberbatch had an answer to a question about like what makes him like the Grinchiest about Christmas or whatever, or what does he get Grinchy about? And he mentioned something very much akin to that, where it was like, I'm all for hanging out with family, and seeing friends and stuff like that. He's like, but I can't stand the plastic items that we box
The
up in
packaging.
cardboard and then package in plastic and do it like, you know what I mean? Like it's just layered at that point. He's like, it's absolutely insane. Like we buy these items, we put them in more stuff that we're going to throw away, wrap it in something else we're going to throw away.
Yeah, I think his was more of an environmental thing than a
Yeah, he had
consumerist
a much
thing.
more polished way of saying all that, but I thought that was interesting. He even had that outlook. I
Yeah,
was like, okay, a guy,
That's true. Yeah.
a guy
fair
for the
enough.
environment.
So he's more of a bagger than a rapper, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
You can reuse those bags.
He's probably just like, hey, fuck rapping. Here's the gift. You asked for it.
Yeah.
I'm showing it to you. Here it is.
Yeah,
Hey, man, you can't go wrong with newspaper. Newspaper always works too.
That's true.
that's true.
That is true. I don't even get the newspaper. I'd have to go buy one.
It's the only thing a newspaper's good for anymore.
Yeah.
That dude, yeah.
That and paper mache.
Yeah. Unless you want to smoke your news, but yeah.
Yeah. It's about literally the only two things I'd ever use it for, anyways.
Also, so they roll in a Christmas tree, fly in a Christmas tree that's
It's huge.
It's massive. And then also being flown in is the massive tree topper for it, which I was like,
Yeah,
where are
the
you guys
star.
getting that thing at? What other snowflake did you guys go pull that off of? Because what the fuck? Also, does that mean there's like a forest of trees that big? Like, where do they get their tree from normally?
That's a good point.
I couldn't tell if it was something they just whip out or if it's like a new tree they get every time.
It's a faux tree that they just have stored.
They have to.
Well, because they whip out the ornaments as soon as that sucker comes out. Everybody has an ornament like they always do every year. It sounds like.
By the way, their ornaments, I don't know if they seem to be handmade, and they can be anything, it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I did not catch till like my second viewing, and I was like, what the fuck are they putting on that tree? Like Bricklebomb or whatever has a whole fucking dragon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My dragon's
flying. Yeah.
It almost looks like the you know how like Red Bull has that competition where you like build your little craft, and like no matter what it is, you go. That's what building something for this tree felt like. They were like, just fucking build anything.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They're all lined up with their little creations.
Yeah, and they just walk in. Like, nobody's like, what does mine look like? Everyone's just like, look what I made.
Yeah, there's no coordinator.
That guy sucks. Who's gonna hang that up? That sucks.
Yeah, luckily the ones they were making look pretty good. What happens if someone shows up with a real eyesore? You're just like,
they're like, oh, put it in the back of the tree. Back of the tree.
Yeah, back of the tree. Put it at the back. Put it at the top.
Yeah. And we got one for the back.
But I thought it was really cool how they all came as a collective and brought the ornaments. Like everybody in town was supplying for the tree. I thought that was really cool. And like you said, they were all like customized. But the one thing I always thought was really interesting is like you said, the tree's huge and the star is huge. Wouldn't that star kind of like bend the tree a little bit because it'd be so fucking big? Like,
wasn't that kind of
set it up there like it's just perfectly fine?
Isn't that a Grinch like staple though? Is to have like the tree, like topper like falling over?
Kind of tilted.
Walmart.
I guess that's
Walmart
true.
even sells a tree that's like tipped over now.
Well, I couldn't tell if it was that or Charlie Brown because I guess Charlie Brown's more of a dead tree, isn't it?
Yeah,
not a bent tree.
I just watched.
Both their trees suck, but
segueing here a little bit. I just watched Charlie Brown's Christmas for the first time the other day. It was all right. It was not sure I get everyone's like hubbub about it, but it was all right.
The Great Pumpkin's better.
Hot take: Charlie Brown sucks.
So
I do too.
I'm not a Charlie Brown fan.
It's pretty low for me. I respect the entity of the Peanuts, but I remember in third grade in Miss Hamby's class where like we had a unit over it. So I'm 9 years old. Yeah, we were having a unit over it, and I was like, "Who the fuck cares?" Like she kept calling them Peanuts at the Peanuts gang. Yeah. And I was like, not gonna be the one who asked what those were because I don't know what the fuck. Like it's just Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you wouldn't have heard it anyways. It just would have been wah 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 wah.
Charles Schwartz or whatever, the guy who we had a whole fucking thing over him, and now there's movies, and I think there's like a theatrical movie and some different shit. So I respect the Peanuts group. But that movie I thought was like, meh.
Yeah. To even make a Peanuts movie that late in life anyways is insane. But I mean,
I like some of the classics, like the classic Christmas stuff, but for some reason, Charlie Brown just never, ever resonated with me.
Yeah, I like the Great Pumpkin from Charlie Brown. That's literally it.
And I'd have to watch it again. I remember like the tree. I remember the Great Pumpkin. I remember womp 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 womp. I remember that. I know Pigpen. I know more about it, I guess, than I realized, but I don't know. I've never showed it to my kids. I've never felt the pull to show it to my kids.
Yeah. Okay.
Never been hooked. So,
well, do you think, does this Grinch take third over the other two? Out of the other two?
I would say yes, but that's, it's not like a far drop. It's only 3 of them. But I would probably put Carrie's at the top and then the original in the middle and then this at the bottom.
I would agree. I think my kids will disagree when they get older, because they're so into this one. But yeah, I think it's at the bottom.
I think it is too. And I don't think it's bad. Chris messaged me basically the same thing, and he was like, I think this one takes third. And I was like, no, you're definitely right. And it's not that by a bad margin. And I do agree with what you said, Tyler, that I think kids like now will think differently. They'll be like, that first one sucks. It's got to go at the bottom. But I'm fine with that. There's so many, like when I was looking for Christmas movies to watch, there's so many dime a dozen animated Christmas movies that it's like there's like 90 I want to stay away from, and then there's actually like 10 that I have any interest in watching. So like Klaus, I think looks cool. Prep and Landing looked interesting, the very first one. Now there's like spin-offs and shit of that I'm like, ugh. So I don't know.
I watched Klaus this year for the first time. I thought about suggesting it, like maybe seeing if you wanted to try that instead of the Grinch.
Yeah.
I think this is a good. I think we ended up making the right choice, but Klaus was cool.
From what I saw,
it was
it
kind of
looked awesome. Yeah.
the animation was cool. I liked some of the people that were in it. It was fun. I'll probably watch it again next year, I think.
That movie was on the short list for if we did Manimated in December, it was like, you know, either Grinch movie, you know, if we wanted to go old school, either Grinch movie, Klaus. I think there was one other. I thought about Eight Crazy Nights, like the Adam Sandler. Thought
That would have
about
been
that.
interesting.
So that could be a route we end up going, but I also think we made the safe bet this time around.
Which is the one with like Heat Miser in it?
I know what you're talking
The
about.
year is it the year without Santa Claus or Santa Claus is coming to town? It's one of those two.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
I've
be
been
the
wanting
year
to go
without
back
Santa.
and rewatch that one and see if it holds up.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch like Rudolph or anything? Have you been
Ye-
watching it with the kids, Nick? Or
I've been catching some of them on TV.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say yes and no. Yes, I like to watch them. No, I've not watched them with the kids. I've only watched Frosty this year.
I don't know if it would hold my kids' attention. I got to try it, I guess. But we're running back into the problem of like the paywall. I think I might go buy one of those DVDs where it's got like 8 of them on there or whatever.
I've got
Well, I
one where
think
it's 5, and it's a little mix up of everything. So it's like Frosty, the Little Drummer Boy, Rudolph, Santa Claus is coming to town, and then the last one is like the Cricket and the Hearth, and
Never even heard of that.
it looks more animated than Frosty, which is more animated than like Jack Frost and the others that are the claymated looking.
yeah.
So it's a really weird. And I didn't have it out for a long time because my Xbox wasn't playing DVDs, but now that I can, and it does. So I'll have to check it out here in the next couple of weeks, but let you know to skip or pass that one.
Yeah.
I think we have the 18 pack, which has I think damn near all of them.
God damn.
Yeah, but trust me, there's a lot of duds in there. Like
Lot of
one of them
stinkers.
there's one of them in there that I think is really cool, like a cool concept, but it doesn't work for a Christmas movie because it doesn't take place during Christmas. And it's Frosty and Rudolph's Christmas in July. It's weird, and it's the only time Frosty's ever been like stop motion animation. He's been 2D in both his first movie and his sequel, where Rudolph hasn't. He's been claymation the entire time.
Right.
Not great, not good. Again, Christmas in July doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's one you can stay away from. But
Okay.
obviously the first Rudolph, first Frosty. I don't think I've seen the sequels for those two. Santa Claus is coming to town. The year without Santa Claus. Those two were usually those two are my top favorites. I love those two. Those two are my overalls. But I think that's about it that I've actually seen. I want to see more, I just haven't. But there's a good chunk, man. There's a lot of good stuff out there for those old movies. But
Yeah, I want to go back in and
I think the guy
try to
did it.
like watch some Christmas movies that I've never seen this year. There's one that looked interesting, 8-Bit Christmas. It's got Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
It's not a cartoon.
Yeah. I think
But-
it's supposed to be like a retro movie
Yeah.
where it's like he
Got
gets
the Super
first
Nintendo, I
Game
think.
Boy, or Super
Or-
Nintendo or something like
or
that.
maybe the NES. I can't remember which one.
Ooh, NES probably makes more sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to branch out a little bit and find some new stuff to watch.
That was me with 8 Crazy Nights. I started it over the weekend or something, and I don't know. I like Adam Sandler, and it is very Adam Sandler, but it's a little too Adam Sandler for me. It
It's
leans
early days Adam Sandler.
it
yeah.
leans into all the stuff about Sandler that I don't like about Sandler,
Yeah.
where he puts on the stupid voices and like it gets out of I like raunchy stuff, but it gets into just like gross stuff.
Right.
And there's sometimes
Nasty.
there's a
Yeah.
line there where I'm just like, yeah, this isn't for me anymore. So I don't know. I got like half an
Sometimes
hour
it's
into it. Wasn't the worst
sometimes
thing
it's
I've
hard
ever
to
watched.
thread that adult animation line, you know?
Do do what?
Like, how do you make it adult themed, but also still,
Yeah,
I don't know, innocent enough to be an animation? Like that movie Sausage Party. I didn't feel like that was very good, but I wanted to like it, you know?
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I think when Eight Crazy Nights came out, I remember seeing it not in theaters, but like when I got rented it or whatever, and I remember watching it, being like, yeah, I'm getting these jokes, and yeah, it's funny, but kids probably shouldn't watch this. Like some of the stuff they say and be doing is just like it's gonna give them a lot of bad ideas.
Yeah, well, it's not. I don't think it was made for kids.
No, no, no. But like the general expression, all kids end up seeing it.
Seems like Adam Sandler's gone more family friendly as time goes on.
Yeah, and I think that
I
is
agree.
because of his kid. Kind of like Mike Myers doing the same thing with his kids and like Shrek and stuff. So
Right, because you get like Hubie Halloween and like Pixels and stuff. It's stuff that the
yeah,
kids can enjoy.
he's got some dramas, some hard hitters and stuff like that too,
I,
which is nice.
I feel
Nice
like
change.
having kids is becoming like the death of comedians because they're all taking like softer, mature
Softer route.
routes that
Hmm.
take them away from like what got them their start and maybe where majority of their fan base is.
It could just be like the circle
I
of
can see that.
comedians, though. Because then we get new comedians that come up and they do the raunchy stuff, and then they'll get older and settle down, and then they'll kind of do the same thing. I think it happens with like musicians too. They come out and they do all their like edgy stuff, and then as they get older, they kind of mellow out a bit.
Do Christmas albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah,
What are some of
I
you guys'
definitely.
favorite Christmas movies?
The Grinch, obviously
Yeah.
one of them. Both the original and the live action. Jingle All the Way is another fun one. Obviously Home Alone. It's kind of all I can think of at the top of my head.
Uh, Everything Derek said: Home Alone, Grinch, Jingle All the Way. I would add Bad Santa, probably my favorite. The Santa Claus is great. Um, Not Christmas movies, but set at Christmas time. I like some of the Shane Black movies. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. The Nice Guys has like one little mention of Christmas. Gremlins is cool.
Doesn't some of the Lethal
Uh,
Weapons happen around Christmas?
The first one,
Lethal Weapon was written by Shane Black.
That's why I was
yeah,
asking. Yeah,
Even Iron Man 3 is part of the
Christmas.
way.
Yeah,
I think he does that specifically to set the mood in his movies, and like a lot of his characters are like loners a little bit, so they tend to be more like depressed and down during the Christmas season. You know what I mean? Like he definitely does that on purpose.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, I was gonna say he definitely. Excuse me. It definitely is Christmas. I think in the first Lethal Weapon for sure. But I don't think so much in the sequels. But
okay.
it wouldn't surprise me if that was his approach.
and then the only other one I could think of the top of my head would be like Harold and Kumar 3, the Christmas one. I like that one.
Okay.
3D Christmas, yeah.
What about you?
Uh, almost everything you guys mentioned. I would also throw in Scrooged.
Mm.
Like
Another
Scrooged a
good one.
lot. Um, I know there's something I'm missing. Do you guys get down on like the Harry Potter films at all this time around this time? Do you guys consider them Christmas films? Are you guys Harry Potter fans?
I
I
can see them in the winter months for sure, but I don't know if I'd watch them during
I
Christmas.
I desperately want to get my 7-year-old into Harry Potter. I want to start reading the books with her, but I think I have to wait for her to get a little bit older. Every once in a
Yeah.
while, I'm like, "Hey, you want to try watching Harry Potter?" And she's just not interested. So I'm gonna find the sweet spot where she's interested, and
There
then
you
show
go.
them to her. So I've kind of been putting off watching those again until she's ready.
Yeah. Fair enough. My 3-year-old was watching me play the Lego Harry Potter games. I was playing them over the
Hmm.
summer. And when it's super simplified like that, and it's like it's real easy for him to be like, he's like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, this is Harry Potter, and he's a wizard, and he's at this school where he learns other stuff, and he's like, whoa, he's a wizard. What about her? Is she a wizard? I'm like, yeah, they just call them witches, but yeah, they're all the same. And he's like, are there good guys? I'm like, yeah, there's good guys, and there's bad guys too. So like, if I can
Yeah.
keep the breakdown that simple, he's like, I'm on board. But for like you, I have not put it into watch because I don't think if the first thing he's seeing isn't like wizards and witches like duking it out and dragons, like if he's got to sit through a story and have to like put pieces together to be like, oh, that's this kid, his life sucks. Oh, but he's a wizard now, and that one put a pig's tail on that kid's fat ass, and like trying to piece together, those movies. I don't think he'd be into it as much. But I, like you, am waiting for that day where I'm like, yeah, man, you want to do Harry Potter right now? We should.
Right.
We should do all eight,
Yeah.
all eight movies too. You know what I mean?
There you go.
We're getting closer to that point. I'm getting surprised with some of the stuff she's like paying attention to and getting interested in.
Yeah.
I put on Jingle All the Way this year, and she she couldn't care less at first, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, spoiler, he's putting on the Turbo Man costume,
Spoiler.
and they're explaining the like jetpack and stuff, and she looks at me and she goes, "This isn't gonna go well." I was like, oh,
yeah, right.
all right, she's into it. She's into it.
That's
and
awesome.
then same with like Home Alone. She really didn't care when I first put it on, and then by the end of it, we're like sitting on the couch together, and she's asking me questions about it, and it seemed like she was enjoying it. So I was like, okay, we're just about to get to the point where we're watching Goonies together, and like
there you go. Yeah.
we're on the cusp of like, let me show you some movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
this is the part where I've been waiting for, and I'm like, I'm almost there. Just hang in there. My kid was asking me questions. I told Derek a little bit about this. My kid had a lot of questions about like Lord of the Rings. As he sat down and finished one with me, and I was like, yeah, man, we can definitely talk Lord of the Rings. Like we should.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to chisel out 3 hours out of your schedule tomorrow for you to just come by and we can do this. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
It does feel good to. They were kind of in and out of this movie, The Grinch. Like it does feel good to get that like common ground with them. Where I'm like, fuck yeah, we're finally getting to watch something together here. We'll see what happens. I don't know what the next Manimated will be, but actually, well, I think I do know what it'll be, but I don't think that they'll care for it about at all. But
yeah, I think I know. I think Chris told me what you're considering doing. It wasn't a big movie for me when I was a kid, so I'm excited to watch it again
Same.
and maybe show my daughter. But out of this one, I got what I was hoping to get out of Corpse Bride, which was like me and my kids sitting down and watching it.
Yep.
My kids like Corpse Bride, but for whatever reason, the day I put it on, they weren't having it. But we really zoned in together on the Grinch this time, and it made it 10 times better.
Could say.
I came away from it with a high rating, and then when I watched it the second time, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's a kid
Now
effect.
I'm conflicted. Now I don't know what my rating's going to be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Derek, where would you rate this thing?
I'd probably rate this a good solid 3. Like it, didn't blow my expectations out of the water, but it entertained me enough to keep me, enthralled with it. So I definitely would give it a 3. Solid.
Okay. Tyler?
Yeah, I've been dreading this moment. I'd say with my kids, it was a 4 out of 5. By myself, I'm probably more with Derek at being at a 3. So I'm gonna split the difference. I'm gonna go 3.5, 3.5 stars.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna land at 3 as well, man. It's a fine film. Like not a lot to gripe about. If you aren't like tied or haven't seen to the 2 that came before it, this may do very well. Yeah, somebody else may walk out here Chris level 5 out of 5. I'm gonna land at 3 also, man. Not a lot to complain about, not a lot to hate on. There are just 2 better versions of it out there. And it's just
definitely
just one of those things, right? So
that's fair.
I would give the live action one a 4 out of 5 for sure. So this one I'll give a 3.
Most definitely.
I'll give it 3.
Yeah, I'm
So,
with you on the live action being a 4 for sure. I wanted to watch it this week. I think we are going to end up watching it after the episode. Doesn't really help the episode at all, but
I think I
Nice.
actually had it on a little bit last week. I had it kind of backgrounding and just never got around full circle to it. How did you watch this one? On Peacock?
I own it on Amazon.
You own it, Derek, so then you bought it also?
Yeah,
Okay.
bought a physical copy.
I'm
I
the only
think
one
it
who
is
had to
on
rent
Peacock,
it.
though, right?
I had to rent it off my Apple since it's not free on anything else. But for those who want to get into the festive Christmas spirit with us, check this movie out. This one is on Peacock. The live action is available, if not on Peacock, it's available on something else, Netflix or Prime maybe. And then I think the very original, I think, is available somewhere else too. So there's a couple paywall features for some, but this particular one is free on Peacock for those who have that. But we have one more week of the Christmas spirit. The one you guys are doing next week should be a good one. I don't know if I'll give that away right now. But if you like what we're doing, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on
Amazon Music.
Okay. Feel free to give us a.
Yeah, we still got to work on iTunes.
Still got to work on iTunes. Okay, cool. Well, we're getting
Yeah.
there. Feel free to give us a like. Tell us to your friends. Tell us to your parents. Tell us to your kids. Send them our way. But until then, we will catch you next time. We'll think outside the box office.